Now let me show you where you find that information. So if you go to irs.gov, you can get to the free file options by going to File Individuals or File How to File. I'm going to select that. Now here we will find information on how to file. Now this is general information how to file. If you want to get the free file information, you have to click this e-file options including free file. So you click that and it will take us to more information on the different options. So it's still not getting us just to the free file information. This is basically IRS telling us how you can file your taxes. And this is kind of like what I discussed in my prior video. You know, you can use the IRS Free File. You can use the free tax return preparation sites that are run by volunteers, the VITA and Tax Counseling for the Elderly. You can use commercial software like brand software and just purchase it and use it, or do the free versions. I also have some free versions. And you can also hire a tax preparer and pay for their services. Now I want to mention here at the very top, you have these breadcrumbs. This pretty much shows you where you are at currently on the IRS website, so you can jump quickly to prior screen. So let's go through the IRS Free File options. If you learn more about Free File, it will take us to the main screen. And here, the Free File options are divided into two classes. This one on the left is the one we were talking about. These are software provided by third parties that are approved by IRS. And your AGI can't be more than 73,000 to qualify. You'll be able to answer some questions in the software, and based on that, they will show you more credit or deductions that are applicable to you. Now this option on the right, these are fillable forms, which I mentioned previously, are like electronic PDFs, which you have to kind of know what you're doing. If you have simple situation, it might be okay. If it's more complex, it gets pretty complicated because many forms have other forms that flow into them, so it can get complicated. But it's definitely an option for people who do things by hand. They could do it electronically, and basic calculations are done in the forms, but the more complex ones you have to do it yourself. So let's go to the choose an IRS Free File offer. So basically what it is, it's a list of tax software, and for 2022 there's 8 that are running this program with IRS, and you can file your taxes for free. One way to look at them is you click on browse all, and this will list all of the programs that are currently working with the IRS. So we have Free Tax USA, TaxSlayer, IRS Free File program through Tax Act. Then we have Free 1040 taxreturn.com, onlinetaxes.com, 1040now.net, Easy Tax Return, fileyourtaxes.com. So like very few companies that you actually like recognize. I mean, I recognize TaxSlayer and the Tax Act, but that's pretty much it. Now, this right here, this information is very important. So for each of the software, like you still have to double check if you qualify, because even though we talked about that if you make 73,000 AGR or less, but some of the software has additional criteria. So for example, TaxSlayer, your AGI can be more than 39,000. And your age, you can be any age, but you see, let's say this one, the Tax Act, you see your age, you have to be 56 or younger. So you see, you have to kind of go through it yourself this way. But I'll show you a quicker way to kind of use filters to filter out the ones that are not applicable. Now this one, the TaxSlayer has free federal for all the states, but let me show you another one like this one, the Free 1040 tax return, free fed any state except, and then it lists the states that it won't, it's not available for free. Then you also have to look at free state. Like this one is saying no free state tax. So every state you will have to, for every state you will have to pay extra. Then they also have two more criteria: military pay. Some software you won't be able to do tax return if you have military pay, but like these specify that there are military pay is included. And then EITC, you see some software won't let you file if you have EITC. For example, like this one, the Tax Act. Included if age and AGI criteria is met, but it's not included if you are not qualifying based on the other criteria. So you have to double check. So this might be kind of like overwhelming to go through all these criteria for this software to figure out which one to use. So another option is at the very top. You can filter by income. Let's just put 18,000 and let's put 66 as your age, and just say that you are eligible for earned income tax credit. You're not an active military. Let's say you are in Illinois, and you click apply. And based on that, it says based on your criteria, there are 7 offers you're eligible to use. So then you can pick each of them, and you can view the offers by clicking on the bottom at the bottom of each of these software. Another way to search for the best tool for you is click this IRS Free File online lookup tool. So here you actually will have to provide a little bit more information, but it will let you figure it out which software is the best for you. So you actually will filter out the ones that you shouldn't use because you won't qualify. So let's just fill this out. So let's say our filing status is single. Let's say our age is 66. We live in the United States. And you might wonder why you're asking for a country. This is for tax returns for US, but you might actually be overseas and you have filing requirement for United States. So that's why it's asking where you live. Maybe you live in Mexico, Canada, and so on. So this is for Illinois, and click next. Oh, the following error has occurred. And entry must be a valid state. So it will give you an error if you don't fill something. So I did put Illinois, but let's just maybe spell it out. And click next. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I guess you have to. What happens? Look at this. You have to type it in and then select it from like the drop down. And did you receive any active duty military pay? No. And click next. And you see what's interesting here also, the error is still there, but let me click next. The error clears and we are moved to the next screen. Now another thing that I want to mention, you see those little question marks here? If you hover, and then you can hover or you can click, it will show you additional or provide you additional information on the checkbox. So you can figure out like, okay, like this one. What does this mean? Pre-tax wage, salary and tips. Does it mean W-2? And by just clicking on this, it does suggest that it is for W-2 if you have compensation box 1. So it kind of like a extra helpers for you. And here, like if I selected this, I still have to put in an amount. So let's put $18,000. If you have another W-2, then you can add another W-2. If you have unemployment compensation, it tells you, what does this mean? You can check this box. So you have to go through these boxes and select what kind of income you have received. Then click next. So this shows you where we're at. Right now it's asking about our EITC. How many dependents are on? We have 0 dependents. You're eligible. Yes, and this is just kind of confirming, yes, is there anything else that we don't know about you and that you may not be eligible for earned income tax credit? For example, maybe you were disallowed this credit in the past and you are banned for a couple of years or something like that. And based on this is showing me that I qualify for 6 of the software. So it's gave me 6 products to still decide which one to go with. Now on the left here, Here's the information we provided. So if anything you need to change, you can click edit your information to filter out any other software. And once you do that, then basically you can click on view this offer to be taken to the software website. And from there on, you will have to create an account and start doing your tax return. So hopefully this gave you a better sense of where you can find more information on the Free File program through the IRS. So thanks for watching.